Okay, I was already in the queue waiting for Dallas Housing. It malfunctioned
Thank you for calling
and it
our
went
social
back into the queue.
services. My name is Lily. Can I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Kiana Clark.
Thank you, Kiana. Can I also have a phone number?
Am I a resident or applicant? I'm not quite sure what's going on. I did sign up for housing multiple different times. I've never received any letters, any phone calls, anything. What's the procedure when you get placed on a waiting list?
All right. So once you submit your application, you are placed on the waiting list. And at the moment, our selection process is lottery based. It means that we choose people randomly from there once the funds are available. So if at the moment
Ma'am, you used to be placed on a waiting list. Why would the government sabotage services and place them on a lotto service? You know, this is weird because at Austin Street Shelter, I was getting deprived of housing, and that was the only place that would let me stay in it. And I would always be early first in line because my life was in jeopardy and I could not get out my abuse, period, at all. So what was odd is could become first come. It was first come first serve. Then it changed to a lotto system. They picked a number. So some days I didn't get housed in my crisis. I don't know why they changed their procedure as well as Dallas County. So you're telling me now you're no longer on. I'm telling you because crimes are maybe crimes, ma'am. I'm just trying to expose criminal activity. I don't. You're random. What's your position? What's your position, ma'am?
Services representative.
Okay, so I'm just exposing that Dallas County may be involved in some criminal activity. Why would they change their whole procedure until now it's a lotto system where I never get services when it used to be people used to be placed on a waiting list? Can you tell me what happened when I got placed on the waiting list? What is the procedure? Do they reach out to the people on the waiting list? Because I could be talking to scammers and setting up giving my information to counterfeit sites. It's not normal to, ma'am, it's not normal to get set up on a waiting list and then get nothing, no call, no information, no mail, nothing to, confirm that party's actually set up on the waiting list. Can you see what happened? Is that normal for me not to get any notification or anything that I was even set up on it? Because I spent a lot of time doing these applications and applying for different things. Even reporting crimes to not get anything to verify that I actually am completing it. I have a lot of chaos going on.
When did you place your application?
It was December of 2020, and then I believe I did it again in April of 2021. Or maybe June.
All right. So the process has been like this for a while now. When you place your application, it was already a lottery system. It was on the.
Did you pull up my information, ma'am? Did you pull up my information?
I'm not able to do so because I don't have.
Okay, well, hold on, ma'am. Hold on, because this doesn't make sense. So I have called a housing authority, and I'm telling you I want to know my position on the waiting list. And you're refusing to tell me the position, telling me I'm on a lottery system? I haven't received any mail, no phone calls, no anything for a multitude of locations. You're refusing to look it up.
All right.
You're refusing to look up. You do your job task and look it up.
If you can listen what I have to say first. You can listen what I have to say.
I don't understand why now it's impossible to get housed every location you go, even on your phone, in person.
If you don't let me finish my sentences, it will be impossible for me to explain how the system works.
Well, I'm just trying to expose criminal activity, ma'am. Is it impossible for you to figure out where I am on the list and to see if I've been chosen?
If you can please listen what I have to say, you will understand. I couldn't finish explaining to you the system because
ma'am, I think that it's a misunderstanding. I called to know where I am on the list.
We don't have specific spots on the waiting list. Nobody has, not you, not anyone.
Okay, well, how do you know I haven't been chosen, ma'am? You're refusing to look it up.
I don't have access to people's files. I'm not able to look it up. I cannot.
Well, I just called housing. How would I find out where I am on the list and if I've been chosen? Is the government depriving me of housing and schemes?
All right, Kiana. Unfortunately, I already explained to you how the process works.
How do I find you? So you're refusing to let me know if I've been chosen for housing? I have called housing, and you don't want me to know if I am chosen for housing. It's impossible.
I don't have access access to your file.
Okay, where did I go? This is
end.
Dallas House. This is housing, and you don't want me to know where to call to find out where I am on the list?
I am the answering services. I don't work directly.
Okay, well, what's the
with
number?
Housing
What's the
Authority.
number to call to find out if I've been chosen for housing in this
We
scheme?
don't have a phone number for them.
Okay.
We don't have a phone number for them.
Okay, they haven't had it years. So I have called Dallas Housing, and you are scheming a completely random individual for Dallas. What did I call?
We are the answering services for the Dallas Housing Authority.
Okay, so is there another number to actually find my position on the list, or are you refusing to let me know get my housing and schemes? Because this doesn't sound rational, ma'am,
I'm
as
not
it hasn't been for
refusing
years.
anything. If you can listen to what I have to say, you will understand. I'm not refusing because I don't have that information.
So I called Dallas Housing Authority, and you don't know how to tell me to get my. You don't know how I can get my position on the waiting list. It's impossible, as it has been for years. I got on the waiting list. You didn't send me any information, and I have called a number for Dallas Housing on the waiting for housing, the Housing Authority, and you're refusing to give me any information to get me housed at this phone number for housing. In addition to that, you have no idea how I can get placed, give my status on the housing. You don't have any clue with that position.
All right, Kiana, I'm going to send you a text message with the link of your applicant portal so you can see for yourself that this is a waiting list system, and you can also see if your application is active. I'm going to send
It's not, ma'am. Until people get their charges. I'm just trying to let people see what I've been going through. It's not. These are crimes, ma'am. Depriving someone from housing is criminal. It's a federal violation that the FBI refuses to investigate.
Authority, this is Andrea. How may I help you?
Yes, I signed up for housing. What location is this?
This is Denton.
Okay.
Denton.
Okay. So I signed up for housing on the waiting list, and I didn't get any mail, literature, anything to verify that, you know. I'm sorry?
Oh, this morning. You would just be, are y'all here for the dentist? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Someone came up to my counter.
Oh.
So you applied for DentonHousingAuthority.com?
Yes. Can you give me my status?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Okay.
How long ago did you apply?
I think that was around December of last year.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't like today. Some people call and they do it and then they call today.
Oh, you have an opening? You have an opening now?
It's been open since last year, since November of last year, but Friday.
That's when I called, November of last year.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So give me 1 second. Let me get that.
Is it normal, ma'am? Is it normal for you to get signed up on a waiting list and then the Housing Authority deprives a party of any information on what's going on in mail and all kind of things of that sort?
Yeah, it tells you when you apply that we only reach out to you when your name is pulled from the list.
Okay, because now some kind of way, because used to be that people would confirm that you have actually applied. Now it's hidden and I don't get services for years.
Well, now the confirmation number is what you get now just to show that you applied.
Okay, so they don't send out mail, they don't make phone calls and let you know your position, if you're going to receive it, nothing. It's just a black pit of unknowing or not knowing.
Well, people contact us. People call every day asking.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that the government no longer sends out anything to confirm that party is on a waiting list or any updates or anything. The government doesn't do that. You have to call and confirm.
Is that how they used to do it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the government's committing crimes if they don't want the party to know that they're been enrolled in a waiting list or placed on a waiting list. It's almost like the government's committing crimes. It's against the law to deprive someone of housing. But anyway, ma'am, I'd like to know my status.
Yes, if you'll give me 1 moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for holding. Can you verify the last 4 of your social, please? Victim of domestic violence.
Right, and I thought that being a victim of domestic violence would place me higher up, especially if the government's involved in my abuse.
Yeah, I mean, you're number 6,341. We do base everything off of preferences. But we have 6 of them that they go by, and that is one of them. But there's 6 of them that they go by.
That's weird because when it stated when I applied that I was at a lower number and it's going up.
Everyone's number is going up. It's been open for almost a year. They've never had a waiting list open for almost a year before.
Okay,
They're
so even though I
open
applied a long
since
time ago and I'm in a domestic violence crisis, instead of going down, my position is going up.
everyone's number is going up.
Okay, because it's pretty unusual that Dallas has changed their whole policy now that I am in a domestic violence crisis. Now they have decided to have a lotto system, which deprives me of services because I'm targeted by the government. So now this county that I have been a part of for a while has changed their whole program into now it's a lotto system. They pick by lotto numbers to get housed, and that's how they're excluding me from housing.
I thought they randomly did the lotto. I didn't know they permanently did the lotto. I thought they just pick it and choose every now and then.
I just never heard of why it doesn't make sense why a whole housing authority would deprive citizens of, that have been placed in, line, may have been there first, to why they would randomly do it as a lotto system. I'm just trying to expose criminal activity that the government's behind and excluding me from housing. So now I have went up in the housing list as a domestic violence victim that involves the government. But at least I'm on the list, and you don't give a person status information, nothing, no phone calls, no information to confirm.
They mail you out something when you're pulled from the list.
I did not get any mail, ma'am. Can we confirm my address?
No, I said 3700 South Tyler Street.
No, ma'am.
Well, that's what we have, so you have to keep, it is up to you to keep your
Ma'am, are you trying to prevent me? Are you denying me the ability to update the address and confirm why nothing was sent when I live there? Because it's a felony to deprive someone of mail, and I'm trying to expose that people are committing crimes to sabotage my life. So I did not get any mail, and a multitude of locations lie because they know I can't get my mail and I don't get anything to get housed. And for the government to commit crimes to sabotage my life is criminal. So I would like to update my address, and I wanted to confirm that I'm trying to expose that people are committing crimes to sabotage my life. I did not get any mail, and it is a felony to withhold mail.
We have not sent you any mail, ma'am.
You just said that they sent out mail to that address, and now you have changed it. You're covering for that crime.
If we send out anything, it would.
I'm trying to give you the address, ma'am. I don't know why the government wouldn't want people to know anything about being placed on within a domestic violence situation.
Anything about the government, ma'am, but
I don't know why you would cover for it. A random person with is this Denton Housing Authority? Can I update my address?
Not over the phone, you can't, but you can mail us something by mail. All of our changes have to be done in writing.
Okay.
So you could either come by the office, or you could write it in writing.
Yeah, I may need to come by the office because I don't know. The government's committing so many crimes to sabotage my life and keep me from housing and make everything difficult. I had to go to court. And the representative I called on my phone lied and said that going to court and scheduling a court date was first come, first serve. And I just don't know how people can scheme and lie, ma'am. Everything is like a black pit and make.
Other services that,
well, I'm trying to expose that a multitude of parties make everything difficult for me. So the representative lied and said the only way that I can schedule my court date, it was between a certain hour, so they can be aware of my entrance, so they can have people conspire with crimes. So she tried to tell me that I could only do this between the hours of 7:30 and 8 o'clock, first come, first served, to set up a court date on tickets that were given to me out of criminal activity. So I got there and they didn't understand what I was saying, and then eventually later they started covering for it. I just don't understand how these people can be enlisted in liars. I have never heard of setting up a court date as first come, first serve. You have to get in line and you have to only be there between the 30-minute window, and it's first come, first serve. I mean, these are some outlandish situations that there's multiple conspirators in line and covering up for chaos. But anyway, ma'am, so now you can no longer change it over the phone. No other way. The only way is because sending in a letter, even though I gave you all my credentials.
A letter or by email.
By email.
Which we consider that paper. Good morning.
Okay, so I can do it by email. Okay, can you give me the information?
Yeah, we can email. Okay. Yeah, if you give me 1 second, what I can do is make it easier so you don't.
Yeah, because I mean, people do it deliberately, ma'am. You have to see it to believe it. While we're waiting on that, no one has given me any avenues in years to how I can get assistance, immediate assistance for housing. All domestic violence locations I go to sabotage and deny assistance. So
have you tried Friends of the Family?
Okay.
Friends of the Family and
there's no government. I don't know why it's so hard for me all the time. So, is there any placement I can get for like advocates or any housing location I can go to get placed? Because my life is a multitude of people sabotage my safety and keep me from it. So, have you ever heard of like advocates that can help me get in environments or income based locations or anything? Because I don't have a life like
The
normal
only,
people.
what is it called? Arms of Hope. But I don't think they do that. I think they just keep you protected. I think they like put you in a place to keep you protected and safe. But I don't know that it's like your own place, like a lease. Like if that's what you mean. Like I don't know of any place that does that. But I do know.
Yeah, they stopped since I got in my abuse. No one will protect you and give you housing. Or they used to have locations where they had offered housing, but since I got in my crisis, they stopped it. That's why I'm trying to expose the government's criminal activity. Okay, ma'am, it's hard.
So the phone number